Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham, back with the latest Bears rumors and news. Lots to get into, starting with Raheem Mostert, the 49ers running back who has requested a trade. And look, we've talked about running backs a lot over the past month or two here on Chicago Bears Now because the Bears could use another runner on this offense. Tariq Cohen's not much of a rusher. Could Raheem Mostert be the type of player that would fit well for this offense? I think he would, but the problem is he wants a pay raise. That's the whole genesis of why he wants to get released, or he wants to get traded from the 49ers in the first place, is because he's been trying to negotiate a pay raise, wants to get paid like a starting running back, at least for the 49ers, and that has not happened, so him and his agent have officially asked out. Here's his agent, Brett Tessler, tweeting out at Tessler Sports. After months of unproductive talks with the Niners about fairly adjusting Raheem Mostert's contract, which paid him for special teams, we have requested a trade. Disappointing that it would come to this for a guy who led all NFL running backs in yards per carry and helped lead them to the Super Bowl. So basically, before last year, they gave Mostert a 3-year extension of like $8.7 million. So he's got 2 years left, just over $3 million against the cap this year, $3.5 million next year. Not much dead cap money there. And look, I understand where he's coming from because this is a journeyman running back who's 28 years old, coming off a career year when he, to be fair to his agent's credit, he was kind of the key cog, especially on offense, in their Super Bowl run. Ran for 220 yards in that playoff game against the Green Bay Packers to get to the Super Bowl. Led the NFL in yards per carry. So I understand where he's coming from. But from the Bears side of things, and I'll make this depend on today's video, should they pay or trade for him, yes or no, I don't think you can trade for him and give him a pay raise. Like, if you can get him at that $3 million mark, which is what he makes now as your kind of second back behind David Montgomery, I'm all in, but I'm not trading for him and giving him a pay raise. So I got to type in for no, but if you think it's yes, go ahead and type Y in the comments section. We got Bears face coverings on sale at chatsports.com/Bears masks. Why not get one today and stay safe and rep the Bears? Look, cases are going up, especially down here in Texas where we're based here at Chat Sports. I want football, so I'm wearing a mask out in public. I hope you are too. If you want a Bears one, chatsports.com/Bears masks. Put that link in the comments, put it in the description. A quick trick for you as well, the 4-packs, $29.99. That's going to be the best bang for your buck. That's the best value there. Chatsports.com/Bears masks. More on this story for Mostert here. Again, I think David Montgomery is going to be your primary back, even if you were to add a veteran, whether it be Mostert via trade or a guy like Devontae Freeman in free agency or LaShawn McCoy or any of the other guys we've talked about. But I do think they need another rusher. Tariq Cohen's a guy, maybe you give him 5 carries a game. But he's more of a receiving threat, a gadget player. He's not a true in-between-the-tackles rusher. Raheem Mostert's been a quality player the past year and a half or so now. Kyle Shanahan's system's a big reason why, but that doesn't mean he doesn't deserve credit and isn't a quality player and wouldn't be for another football team. I understand why he wants a little bit more money. I just don't think the Bears can trade for him and give him, $4.5, $5 million in additional money. They're already fairly strapped for money against the salary cap. So this is my trade idea if they were to do this. A 5th-round pick, he's 28. He's fairly cheap right now, so I do think a 5th, maybe a 4th could make sense, but I personally would not give him a 4th. If you can get a 5th and not have to give him a pay raise, I'm all in. Give him 8 to 10 touches on this rushing attack because the Bears will run the football a lot, but otherwise I think I have to stay away from this if I'm the Chicago Bears. Why not join the Noti Gang? It's an exclusive club here on Chicago Bears. Now, in all seriousness, here's the deal. A lot of you guys watch our videos, but only like 17% have notifications turned on. So you probably miss a lot of our videos that go up all the time. So you got to be subscribed, number one. But once you do, you hit that notification bell. And if you're still not getting videos sent to your phone, like the little notifications that pop up like anything else you have, it's probably because you'd have the settings screwed up on your phone. So here's a simple thing. You can screenshot it right now. That way you remember after you watch the rest of this video. You go to the settings app, scroll down, type YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. That way you never miss a video. Pops up on your phone when we post here on the channel. Makes it very easy for you guys to watch our videos. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple, and I encourage you to do so you never, ever miss a show. Okay, next story here. Allen Robinson. I'm starting to think he's not a priority for the Chicago Bears because outlets literally over the last 3 months and throughout the offseason, including me, including us here at Chicago Bears Now, keep saying, give this guy an extension. He's proven he's a true number one receiver. He's put up big numbers throughout his career despite playing with guys like Blake Bortles and Mitchell Trubisky. He's a free agent next year. Those numbers with this offense last year are pretty damn impressive. If you put him with an adequate 2019 offense, he's probably a 1,400 receiver guy. Still almost pushed for 1,207 touchdowns with below average quarterback play. Whether you guys are Trubisky fans or not, he did not play well last year. Neither did Chase Daniel when he had to play a couple of those games. He's clearly a number one receiver, and he's clearly the Bears' number one receiver. I don't understand the lack of urgency from Ryan Pace and the Chicago Bears front office. Plus, if you extend him, you can lower his cap number for this year and maybe go add an offensive lineman, which still is a major need for the Chicago Bears team. You look at the highest paid guys, he's not Julio, he's not Michael Thomas, he's not Tyreek Hill. I'll give you that. But I think he's in Amari Cooper and Odell Beckham's range in terms of quality level receivers, and he's only 26. He's still really, really young. He's got 4 to 8 quality good years left. I'm not saying give him a 6-year deal worth $150 million or something like that, but a 3-year extension, $18 million per, I think he's definitely worth that. And if you're not bringing him back, what, Anthony Miller's your number one guy? We've seen teams, the Dallas Cowboys, who we just mentioned with Amari Cooper, they tried to go without a true number one a few years ago. Dak Prescott was a disaster, and they had to trade for Cooper before the deadline. Don't make that mistake. Get this guy locked up long term because number one receivers, they don't grow on trees. So what do you guys think? What should the Bears do with Allen Robinson? Type E for extend him, type D for don't. If you're typing D for don't, I don't really know what your plan is. Let me know what it is because I think I got to extend Allen Robinson for the foreseeable future. Are the Bears going to be an angry team this year? This has kind of been a theme over the past couple of months. You've seen players, Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, speak out about how frustrated they were about how things went last year. Now the center, Cody Whitehair, is the latest to join him. Here's what he said the other day, saying, you definitely feel the anger in the sense of some unfinished business. But I guess the best way to sum up our virtual offseason would be motivated. The season wasn't the way we wanted it to be in 2019. Guys are excited to get back to work and start the season. And I think this team got a little bit complacent after 2018. They went 12-4. Matt Nagy's this hot new young coach. Mitchell Trubisky's on the rise. And then you kind of regress and reality hits you in the face and you get some injuries and the play calling gets questionable and all of a sudden you're a well below average offense after being a top 10 or so offense in 2018 and you fall back to 8-8. You go from winning the NFC North to, being a 500 type football team, which, and a lot of, we've talked about this, 2020 is a big year for a lot of people in this organization. Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, certainly Mitch Trubisky, and a lot of other players as well, because if they axe this staff or go with the new GM, all bets are off on what this team looks like next year. So I do think this team will play angry. I think this team's going to be motivated because 2020 is very important for a lot of key members on the Chicago Bears moving forward. So who do you guys think will win the NFC North this year? Bears won it in 2018. Packers won it last year. Lions, Vikings, let me know. Who's going to win it? If you think it's the Bears, type CHIGB for the Packers, DET for the Lions, and, of course, MIN for the Minnesota Vikings. We also got T-shirts that are on sale, up to 30% off at this link, chatsports.com/BearsTees. Chatsports.com/BearsTees. I'll put that link in the comments and in the description. Tons of different styles, hundreds of shirts. We got women's T-shirts available as well. You can get this Khalil Mack one. That's 30% off as well. You can get a custom one. Tons of different varieties. Got them in navy, white, the faded blue, the orange, all types of different shirts. Go to chatsports.com/BearsTees. Take advantage while these shirts are up to 30% off because trust me, these deals, they don't last forever. Is Soldier Field a top 10 NFL stadium? Look, I've never been, but everything I read, everything I hear, especially from people in the sports media who have been to Soldier Field for a game, I've never heard great things about it, and it's not surprising, right? This stadium's 96 years old. Like, it's by far the oldest. We talked about this a few shows ago that maybe it's time to, invest in a new stadium in the Chicago area because it's so old. It's the smallest capacity stadium in the National Football League. Like, it could be time to move on. So the Athletic put this, thing together basically saying where they had their writers vote on the best stories in the NFL. And I'll get back to that part of the story in a second, but be honest, you Bears fans who have actually been to a game at Soldier Field, I'm not ripping on the place. I've never been. I just want to know. I want to know from a Bears diehard, what's the quality of Soldier Field these days? What's the fan experience? Scale it 1 to 10. 10 being best stadium I've ever been to. The atmosphere is awesome. The seats are great. The food, all of it. It's the best. 1, I feel like I'm at a JV high school game down the street or whatever. Just be honest with me. Scale it from 1 to 10 in the comments section. And so the Athletic had their NFL writers who, most of them have been to all 32 NFL stadiums, if not most of them at least. This is what the results ended up being. Top 10 stadiums in the league. US Bank Stadium, brand new state-of-the-art facility in Minnesota. Not super surprising. CenturyLink Field, known as one of the best atmospheres up in Seattle. You got AT&T in Dallas, which is a state-of-the-art facility. Lambeau Field, historic, kind of like the Bears. Could maybe challenge that one as well. Arrowhead is kind of similar, one of the older stadiums. Mercedes-Benz was built a few years ago. And then Soldier Field, producer Brett's like State Farm Stadium. That place sucks. I don't know why that got into the top 10 here. Maybe the media food's good or something. And then Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Heinz Field is obviously a stadium that a lot of people like. But it's kind of a weird list, right? Because you have a combination of new, modern domes and stuff like that. And then you've got these old school stadiums like Soldier Field that's, quite frankly, falling apart from what I hear, Lambeau Field and a couple of these other places. But again, let me know, be honest, what type of shape is Soldier Field in? And hey, if you think it's time to build a new stadium, let me know in the comments section.